Alright, welcome guys to part 3 of Smooth Operator, the series where we take Carlos Sainz at Williams and we try to beat Ferrari and maybe even challenge for a Drivers' World Championship. All while sacrificing Alex Albon, of course. He is the sacrificial lamb to the success for Carlos Sainz. But last time around, we were at China. We actually had a pretty good result. As you can see here, scoring a 5th place for Carlos Sainz. Only about 9 seconds, well 10 seconds behind Max Verstappen, who picked up his first win of the season, which was actually a bit of a surprise. Because it looked all along like maybe Oscar Piastri was going to win it. But today we head to Suzuka, and we have some important decisions to get through. The first one here, Andrea De Zordo, our new technical chief that we hired at the start of the season, he's asking us, we've hit a bit of a rough spot with the chassis design, and he's asking to maybe change the deadline, or do we want to pay overtime to complete the chassis in the same amount of time it otherwise would have. And obviously, like we know, we're pushing hard to get those parts in, so we're just going to pay the overtime, 325k. That's what we're going to do. If we take a look at the calendar, actually, we can see here, we're actually completing a front wing design before we head into Japan. So that would be really nice. It's going to be really good to get that front wing in before the Japanese Grand Prix. Should give us a lot of extra performance, and maybe we can have Carlos consistently fight in that top 5 with that wing. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get to the race weekend. Alright, so before we head into Suzuka here, looking at the car performance, Carlos Sainz, 9th overall. We do have, we had that new front wing design come in, our 3rd front wing design, and it's significantly better, but I was only able to manufacture the first part for this weekend, but it's only coming in after practice, so I'm gonna see if we can get it on for the qualifying session for Carlos. We should give some extra performance, but again, we're not looking bad for this session. We're good in the low speed. Medium high speed is about average. I'm gonna get a practice done, and then I'll see you at the start of qualifying. So before we head into the weekend here, it's gonna be raining during practice, which shouldn't be an issue, and then Saturday and Sunday is going to be partially cloudy, no rain predicted. So in that case, I think we have a good race on our hands. I'll see you in qualifying. Okay, bit of a status update, guys. Carlos Sainz has crashed in practice. In practice 2 it was. You can see here, by the time he's only put time on the inters, the session dried up towards the end. And yeah, he had a crash. I don't have any footage from it. Forgot to click the replay function. But that does mean we've had to emergency manufacture one of the suspensions, the 2nd suspension we made. So yeah, just a bit of an update. We did get everything together though. We've nailed the setup for the qualifying, so there shouldn't be any issue, and Carlos still has all the parts he needs to succeed here. So let's head into qualifying. Coming through 130R, getting ready for his first flying lap, which we have a pretty good car on the straightaway. Oh, again, just slowing down for no reason. Gonna come across the line. It's gonna be nothing more than a banker because he got held up several times during his lap, so it's nothing representative. You can see it's literally just getting in a lap on the board. Okay, so we're sending Sainz out on his 2nd lap. It's going to be on the same set of tires because Carlos only has 2 sets of tires since he crashed out in one of the practice sessions. So Sainz heading on to his flying lap. It's going to be make or break here. Currently he's P20. All the way down at the bottom, not getting a proper lap in. Well, for everything, I'm pretty sure. Again, getting slowed down here by... This is a game-breaking kind of... well, not game-breaking, but a bit of an unfortunate bug on this circuit where the cars, even though they get out of the way, your driver still kind of slows down. It's a bad qualifying from Carlos Sainz. And Albon doesn't even improve. But yeah, Carlos held up in qualifying, and that's qualifying over for Williams, unfortunately, and for Carlos Sainz. So a bit of a setback here at Suzuka. All right, guys, bit of a summary here as we had a very disappointing qualifying session. Carlos Sainz getting held up on both of his laps. And we take a look at the final qualifying results. Lewis Hamilton puts it on pole with George Russell in second. Max Verstappen, after his victory in China, puts it on third. Then comes Charles Leclerc in the second Ferrari. Then comes Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, fifth and sixth. Maybe a bit of a disappointing qualifying for them. Then comes Liam Lawson in seventh. Andrea Kimi Antonelli for Mercedes in eighth. Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll in ninth and 10th. Nico Hülkenberg, another strong qualifying session, 11th. Pierre Gasly, 12th. Jack Doohan in 13th. Isaac Hadjar, 14th. Esteban Ocon, 15th. Alexander Albon in 16th. Again, not a good qualifying session for him, but he's not getting a lot of parts. He only has a new rear wing for this session. Then Gabriel Bortoleto, and then Carlos Sainz, 18th. Very disappointing, but unfortunately, none of our faults. Just got unlucky with being held up on the back straight. Oliver Behrman, 19th, and Yuki Tsunoda picking up a penalty, which puts him in 20th.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. And Alex Albon will know just what kind of drive will be expected of him here.
They'll be disappointed to be starting 16th. The top 10 could be a very big ask from this far back.
And it looks like we're good to go. Get ready.
All right, the 5 lights come on, and we're gonna head into the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. We've put our drivers on alternating strategy. Sainz is gonna go to mediums after this stint. Albon will do another soft stint. And we've also heavily underfueled Sainz just to make up for his bad qualifying. So we'll see how that plays out. And we're going to, again, sacrifice Albon here a bit. We're going to let Sainz through.
Just manage more 3 and 4.
We're just going to let Carlos push here for about half a lap. And then we're gonna put him on fuel saving mode and not let him destroy the rest of his tires here. And I think we're already up to that point because look at how fast these tires are going. Here we go. We just have to hold on. I don't really like pushing for an entire first lap because the other drivers tend to push a lot in like the first lap or two. And it actually takes a lot out of the tires. So if you can just hold on until the DRS gets activated. Oh, there was a crash. There was a crash. Alex Albon out of the race, I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
1.2 ahead.
Where is Alex? Oh, he's in the wall. Alex Albon has disappeared off the track.
0.2.
Let's take a look at this. Alex coming into 130R. What happens here? Does he get crashed into from behind? Yes, he gets hit from behind into the barrier. And Alex Albon has disappeared. He's not in F1 anymore. He won't be in the 26th season, unfortunately. Yeah, here it comes again. Oliver Behrman with a big mistake, just misjudging braking. And, well, luckily we haven't put our eggs on Alex Albon this season. All right, safety car has ended. We're back underway. Carlos Sainz in 16th. Funnily enough, you can see here Norris and Gasly pitting already, so I think they pit off the soft tires, which I'm not sure if that's such a good call after only 2 laps of racing. It seems a bit strange to give up your positions. And Norris dropping all the way back to 18th now, which, yeah, to me just doesn't make any sense. But Sainz here is onto the back of Tsunoda. And we're going to see here, down the straightaway we come, 130R, where Albon was taken out at the end of it. And actually, I forgot to put Sainz off of his tire saving and fuel saving, tire and fuel saving mode. This should be a lot better. And then coming down the straightaway, we have a good run here on Yuki Tsunoda. Can we force the overtake? Carlos Sainz on the straightaway, heading into turn 1 on the inside. Is he gonna stick there? No, Tsunoda fights it off. But it's only the first lap after the safety car, so Tsunoda will be pushing as we're back onto the back of the train in front. And here's where we start saving some of our ERS and start thinking about tactically deploying it to make some overtakes. So I'm just gonna save. What I usually do at Suzuka is just save through this middle sector, because usually they can't get too far away. Then you just go back to neutral here after the hairpin, get a good run out of there to kind of try and make sure you stick close enough to the cars in front. And now we're gonna deploy on the main straightaway here, start a lap 6. Again, I just want to try and get overtakes done with Carlos before this train in front of us starts getting away. And on the main straightaway, we get past Hadjar, who has no DRS. And then heading into turn 1, again, lining up behind Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to save more ERS. Antonelli with a lockup. Let's see here. Antonelli, very temperamental. Let's see. Oh, tiny bit of a lockup. Ooh, almost keeps it out of the barriers, though, so he drops down quite a bit. But, yeah, that could have been a lot worse for Kimi Antonelli. But he's down in 10th now. So deploying here down the straightaway. We have a good toe. Can we get past Yuki Tsunoda? I'm going to go aggressive. So maybe we can try and move into the hairpin. And let's see it now. Does Carlos Sainz try anything? No. Let's see now down the main straightaway. Again, we're going to deploy and just keep him on the aggressive tire mode. We have a bit of tires to work with now that we had that safety car. And can we finally dive up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda? No, we cannot. Again, just gonna try and save as much battery as we can heading in this middle sector. And you can already see the trains are starting to split up. Verstappen again in the lead of the race, so he's really putting up a good fight in that Red Bull, who's which is definitely not anywhere as close to the McLarens as it needs to be. Again, with Sainz here, we're just gonna use all the excess ERS that we have and try and get past Yuki Tsunoda. Can we manage something here? Yes, we do. Into spoon curve. On the inside, we push Yuki Tsunoda wide. And up to 14th goes Carlos Sainz. And then down the straightaway, hunting down Bortoleto. Let's take a look at that again.
Now here, they were taking turn
We can see Sainz perfectly lining up his car on the inside. And not even, I don't think even squeezing Tsunoda. Tsunoda just held the throttle in.
Without too much trouble.
And a very nice pass from Sainz. So we're making up ground. That's what I like to see. And here comes Sainz now. I think I might actually deploy here down this straightaway again.
Overtake is available.
Should be able to get past Doohan and Bortoleto here. Or try at least. Then again, we go into full ERS saving mode. So we get onto the back of Doohan. Let's see, can we pass? Yes, we do get past Doohan. Again, remember, we're on the soft tires. A lot of these cars in front of us are on medium tires. But not Bortoleto. He's also on the softs. Let's take a look, actually. You can see now, a lot of the cars on mediums, but our tire wear, not too bad, actually. We're keeping up well with our tire wear, especially with that safety car now, so not bad. And again, we might think about fuel saving soon here, but I do really just want to get through this first stint without fuel saving. If we take a look at the front here, Max Verstappen and Hamilton trading blows just like the good old days. Hamilton really coming to life here at Ferrari. And yeah, him and Verstappen out at front. The two veterans at this point scrapping away world champions in a clash in their own league. Meanwhile here, I completely missed this, but Sainz got past Bortoleto on the... oh, there we go. We can take a look at it. So I almost missed it, but Sainz here around the outside of turn 1 gets past Bortoleto. What a nice move. And is straight onto the back of Esteban Ocon. That's what we like to see. So Carlos really making up time here early on in the race. And yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. I think we can get back to that top 5 even, maybe, if we really maximize the race here and manage our ERS. But here we go. Ocon, no DRS. We head down the straightaway. This should be an easy pass for Carlos. But a lot is happening in this race now. Kind of fun, actually, to start from the back of the pack pretty much, because we can do a lot of overtakes. And here comes Sainz now. Past Ocon. Again, no real big challenge there. And let's take another look at that. So down the start-finish straight. Ocon goes slightly defensive, but we just have so much overspeed. There's nothing he can do to stop the Chile. I actually will have to decide here. Do I go to another set of softs or do I go to the mediums? I think actually softs might not be a bad idea at this point, because we can eke out enough laps on the softs, it seems like. So our normal planned strategy is to pit on lap 16 and then once again on lap 34. So yeah, we will see if we'll move to mediums or softs, but it might be looking like a double soft, or maybe we take the middle stint as a medium and then go to the soft at the end. That could also be one. I think I'll actually deploy. We're right onto the back of Nico Hulkenberg. We might be able to get him into the hairpin here. So let's see. Good run out of here. Moves to the outside. Yes! Come on, Sainz. Come on. Pull off this move. Around the outside. Does he hold on? Oh, sure enough, he does. And then we'll be straight onto the back of Kimi Antonelli. Again, let's watch that overtake. Maybe we'll get a better angle. Oh, the helicopter cam for this one. Heading into the hairpin. Around the outside goes Carlos Sainz on those soft tires. Just a lot more grip than that Steak Sauber. And there we go. Okay, so as we can see now, Antonelli actually starting to push a little bit. He's using some ERS. He's trying to close up back to that top 8, which I don't mind. But we are going to have to use some ERS ourselves to keep up with him. But getting closer to Fernando Alonso. Again, here down the straight, we're using ERS and we'll get a little bit of a tow, which might allow us to get a bit closer. And Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso in a fight in front of us. Let's take a look at those guys going at it. So, alright, so end of lap 14. We're getting up to Kimi Antonelli here onto the back of him. I'm actually going to use a bit of a deploy. I think we should be in the clear. Trying this overtake, but I'm still just going to use deploy to make sure to get past so we can get onto the back of Lance Stroll. And here we go then. Carlos Sainz onto the main straightaway. Kimi Antonelli not defending. We're going to get past. It's going to be a clean pass, easy pass. There we go. Carlos Sainz up into 9th. And there comes a safety car. I wish we would have had been able to pit there just before the safety car came out. Which again, I think they keep to a delta here, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So we're gonna have an earlier pit stop there, and we're gonna move to the softs once again. Yeah. All right, heading into the pits now. Before this race, we focused a lot on our pit stop drills, so to minimize the mistakes our team should make. So let's hope Sainz doesn't get any bad pit stops this time around. So onto the jacks. Fresh set of softs on. 2.7. Not a great pit stop time, but we'll take it. We didn't lose any positions. Coming out ahead of Lance Stroll. 10th in the fastest pit stop. So yeah, just an average pit stop, but
oh dear, that's not a good stop.
Ocon with a pit stop issue.
Now what happened there, Karun?
So
See
has
here,
been
he
through
comes in.
already.
P13, but he's going to go all the way to the back probably. Oh,
And
the
it looks
left
like it's
back
just too tight.
tire not coming off. Oh, and that's a really long pit stop. Oh man, that is terrible for Ocon. He was actually running pretty well in this race. And that'll be detrimental to his race. Safety car is ending, and Carlos Sainz leads off in 8th position. We're right behind Fernando Alonso, and something to note, Lando Norris actually has a mechanical issue, and it's a one of a very serious degree. So we might see him drop out during this race at some point. Onto the back of Alonso, we're very close. Might be able to try a move here somewhere. And again, we're getting closer than ever now to Alonso, and we'll have DRS here on this lap, so we're gonna put the deployment on. Or actually, we'll save some deployment. We're close enough, I think, that we don't have to use it. But let's just hope we can get this move done without any issue. Yes, this should definitely be the move. There we go. Good run out of the last corner. And shouldn't be any issue for Carlos Sainz getting past here.
Okay, Alonso ahead.
So nicely done, Carlos. Up to P7 already.
Gap 1.
Not even halfway
Let's
through
take
the
a
race.
closer look. It was the Williams driver we see there. The gap opens up for them.
Very nicely done. Getting that overtake done before the
That
first
takes
corner.
them to 7th place.
And again, we have to make these tires count, because we'll probably have a bit of a disadvantage when we come to the end of the race. All right, down the straightaway we go on lap 21, and we're right onto the back of Liam Lawson, and he's going defensive into 130R. We're side by side, heading into the chicane. Norris now losing touch with the cars in front, and we're going to use overtake here. There we go, past Liam Lawson. It's going to be a double move here for Carlos Sainz. Down the straightaway we go, DRS open. And, oh, it's a big scrap. It's a big scrap. Norris desperately trying to hold on to his positions, but it seems like it's a bit of a losing fight for him. And let's take a look at that again. Carlos Sainz down the straightaway. Liam Lawson behind. There comes Fernando Alonso as well, trying to fight Liam Lawson. And we're going to come out on top into turn 1. Lawson also trying to get past Norris, but doesn't manage to do so. Again, let's see if we can get closer to George Russell, perhaps. But let's not go too crazy with the tires. Again, we're just going to try and save some tires, some ERS through the middle part of the lap. And then try to tactically deploy here and there to catch up to the cars in front. So almost on to the start of lap 24, and Sainz is catching up to Russell in front. We've been getting some slipstream, and we've been trying to use our ERS tactically to catch up as well. And it is working out, so we're slowly getting closer, and might I say, we're not too far off the pace of these front runners. You know, we're not doing too bad. Sure, we have the tire advantage, but I mean, I think we're really fighting for a podium here maybe today. Sainz right onto the edge of that magical second. And yeah, with the slipstream, you can just see how much we're gaining here. We're gaining 2 to 3 tenths on a straightaway just by being in the slipstream of Russell, which is great to see. Our drag reduction is working out. And did we get DRS for the straightaway here? Yes, we did. So very nicely done, Carlos, and we're not too far away from those front 3. Right, something happened here. Alonso with a lockup.
See what happened.
Fell all the way back, so
this
through
one.
130R
It's
into the
right
last
here.
corners. Oh, and a
Growing
big
with the car.
lockup nearly
They took a
gets
gamble,
into
and it
Liam
was
Lawson in
just
front
too
of him.
late.
And massive position loss there for Fernando Alonso. I'm not sure if he went straight into the pits. But yeah, he's only now just recovered. So all the way down in 17th now, Fernando Alonso. Which means that Lance Stroll is going to beat him out, I think, this time. During this race. And we're getting closer to our pit window. Still about 10 laps to go or so. Bit less, 8 actually, I think. Yep. Lap 34 is the planned pit stop for us. But now Russell's starting to pull away. And I think the tire advantage now coming into play a little bit. We're dropping away with our soft tires. Alright, on to lap 20 now. Now the soft tires really dropping off. You can see here Liam Lawson on the medium tire. Even though his tire wear isn't great, he's getting closer and closer. Like Carlos is reporting now, he can complain about the tire. It is really getting to a stage where we're starting to lose time. We've lost about a second in the meanwhile to George Russell. And Lawson now onto the back of us. This is where we consider maybe not putting up a fight with Lawson and letting him go through to pull a bit of pace for us for these last couple of laps. So again, going into 130R, Liam Lawson already very close. 2/10 behind. Well, it's going to be an interesting one here because I've just seen the news about Yuki Tsunoda taking over at Red Bull for the season. And I'm thinking if he does perform well at Japan, and it will be like, if after that it is the plan for Red Bull to keep him on for the rest of the season, I think I might swap him out in this playthrough as well. It might be a bit delayed because I'm trying to record these episodes a bit in advance, so I have some time to edit them. But I think, yeah, if Yuki's transfer becomes kind of a successful thing and he's not too far off of Max, I think I might actually make the transfer as well in this playthrough, which would be, I guess, kind of a nice thing to see. But we'll see how he does. If he is a complete flop and it is really just a car that no one can drive, then we'll just keep Lawson in there. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see Yuki lined up with Verstappen. And it would give us a bigger challenge, of course, because he's higher rated than Lawson. So yeah, make this a bit more challenging. So here comes Liam Lawson with DRS. On the inside, and yeah, we'll just slot in behind Carlos Sainz. Again, we'll save some ERS here and then deploy just to try and stick close to Lawson, maybe get an extra lap of DRS. Here we go now, Carlos Sainz on lap 34. Leaders just started lap 35. He's coming into the box. Let's see how the pit stop goes. Switching on to those mediums for the rest of the race. And we'll get a bit of an undercut on the likes of Russell and Lawson as well. So, okay, let's make it a good stop, boys. Come on. Yes, 2.7. Not too bad. Ooh, there's a yellow flag. Let's hope no safety car. Antonelli.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Look at the Mercedes.
Okay, Antonelli into turn 1.
That won't help their chances.
Okay, nothing crazy. Just runs a bit wide. No harm done there for Kimi Antonelli. And who's that behind him? Is that one of the Ferraris? Yeah, that is Lewis Hamilton behind him. Okay, so the pit stop phase has kind of come through now. Antonelli being one of the last in the pits. I think Gasly still has to pit. And then Verstappen, he's going really long on his mediums. But we have Lawson here for company on the hard tires, which surprisingly he has really good pace on them. But our tires still haven't quite gotten up to temperature, so maybe that's one of the reasons why he's pulling such good pace now. But ideally, we'd want to make sure that we pull away from Lawson at some stage. So I'm gonna just save a little bit fuel, save the ERS a little bit, and then See if we can take advantage of our warm tires at some point. And yeah, also we're not getting close, it seems, to George Russell. He's on the hard tires as well. Maybe we can try something here in this early part of the stint. We can see Piastri on soft tires, which I'm not sure that is such a good choice, because he'll be running out of tires towards the end of the race. So maybe he'll lose some pace and we'll be able to catch him. Who knows? Whoa, so we've just dispatched from Pierre Gasly. He's still running on those mediums, but he's now getting into the heavy wear like territory, so not sure why he hasn't pit yet, because he should be moving to softs now, I believe. But yeah, just weird decision here by Gasly to stay out this long. Interesting part, we'll be seeing if Piastri can make these tires last until the end. Meanwhile, Hamilton and Verstappen, the battle has been raging since the start of this race. Yeah, we just have to see how Hamilton will progress here as he moves to the inside. Maybe no, he does not. But yeah, still 12 or 13. Yeah, 12 or 13 laps to go, and Hamilton obviously having virtual safety car. That means tire saving mode, and oh man, if I spotted that just a bit earlier, I could have gone in for maybe some soft tires to push until the end. But yeah, unfortunately, that won't be the case. Now let's see how long it takes, because I might consider actually pitting for soft tires.
There's been an incident involving the Sauber.
Let's see here. Gabriel Bortoleto going into spoon curve. Let's see. Oh, and just loses the rear and goes into the bear. What a big crash. Wow, wow, wow. So, yeah, not good for Stake Sauber. Alright, so virtual safety car has ended. We managed to save our tires a little bit, which makes it so that we might be able to push a little bit at the end, but we're gonna just try and get onto the back of Liam Lawson now. No messing around. Get the tires back up to temp, hopefully. It's getting a bit dark and gloomy out there, but no rain predicted. Find the latch back, another yellow flag somewhere. Not sure, quite sure what happened. Let's see. Oh, Hamilton with a lockup.
Now, by the looks of things, we're at turn 15.
So Hamilton behind Verstappen in the slipstream, coming up to the last corners, and oh yeah, just completely locks up. So loses quite a lot of time to Verstappen, and his tires now in a really bad shape. Gasly with a puncture? How does that happen? Gasly has been running for so long. Why isn't he pitting? He's still on the mediums. Did he try to go until the end and just not realize that he couldn't? I think he was just desperate to hold on and not pit, I suppose. Will he come into pit now? Oh, he's going so slow with that puncture. Comes into the pits now, surely. Yes, he does. But that's going to drop him all the way to the back, I think. So a bit of a disaster for Pierre Gasly. And Sainz now close enough to Lawson, but also Antonelli is hounding us. So we're going to try and get past Lawson here sooner rather than later. We're fighting for a P5 here today, I think. Russell too far ahead, so a bit optimistic to think we could be fighting for the podium. But hey, with a better qualifying session, we might have been able to stick around that top four. At this point, Antonelli really fast here towards the closing stages of the race. He's really onto the back of Sainz. Meanwhile, at the front now, Verstappen has completely checked out at the front. He's put on a dominant display, and he's actually going to make it a back-to-back win at this rate if nothing goes wrong for him. And Verstappen really showing he's in that championship fight, even with an inferior car. So, yeah, that is quite something. And Norris, let's see here, what's going on with Lando Norris? He's losing power in that car. He's dropped down to 9th already, and he might be outside of the points for this race. Because Nico Hülkenberg not too far behind. Let's see if Norris can make it until the end. And down once more into 130R. We're about half a second away from Liam Lawson, and I think the time to push is now.
He's overtake. He's overtake.
So we're gonna let Carlos push here. We're gonna deploy down the main straight. And see if we can get past Liam Lawson in one fell swoop. We move to the inside. Here comes Carlos Sainz, and we're pushing on the tires as well. And we'll see now if we can get away of Liam Lawson. Then out of the hairpin, Kimi Antonelli is now within a second of us. But ideally, what we'd have happen here is we pull Kimi Antonelli away from Lawson. So that's a two-way fight for that 5th place. And we're going to have to turn down the fuel mode as well. Lawson still hovering within a second of Kimi Antonelli now. And it's going to be very close if he gets DRS or not. But it does look like he's going to get it just about. He's just 3 thousandths within that DRS range. So let's see down the straightaway here. Yes, he does open DRS, so
3 more laps.
see if we can still get away, maybe. Yeah, he's not gaining enough with that DRS, so might be lucky here. Might be able to get away. Okay, Verstappen has started the last lap. He is gonna win the Japanese Grand Prix in dominant fashion here with Sainz. We're gonna deploy down the main straightaway, so Antonelli should not be able to get close. Let's maybe see here, helicopter cam. He is going to get DRS, but should not be enough to get close. As we pull about a second there, so Carlos should be able to hold on here. And here we come for the last time into 130R.
Over the finish line,
And it's going to be a great performance from Sainz coming all the way from the back. He is going to end in P5 at the Japanese Grand Prix. Max Verstappen taking the win. But Sainz, again, with a great performance. Vamos, Carlos.
I'll be honest now, it'd take a real optimist to find anything good about Alex Albon's race.
They'll be very disappointed to have had their race end early. No driver wants that to happen, but now they just have to look forward.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
What an excellent way to take a second win of the season with a composed performance today.
And a lovely show of sportsmanship to conclude proceedings here in Japan. Now, Karun, no doubt there'll be a lot for the teams to process after that race. But how do you think the Williams team are feeling?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that's all for today as we wrap up the weekend here in Japan.
All right, so we come here to the end results of the race. Max Verstappen taking the victory. Lewis Hamilton in second place after suffering that lockup late on. Oscar Piastri in third. George Russell in fourth. Carlos Sainz, 13 positions made up. We came from P18 and gets himself inside that top 5. Sure, the safety car might have helped a little bit, but hey, I'm not going to be here and complain. Carlos Sainz looked quick from the get-go and picking up another solid 10 points, which should solidify our 5th place in the Drivers' Championship. And obviously for the next race, we want to push even higher. Kimi Antonelli up in 6th, Liam Lawson 7th. Lance Stroll with a nice performance in 8th. Lando Norris then with that mechanical issue dropping down all the way down to 9th. Nico Hülkenberg actually scoring a point for Kick Sauber early on in the season here. Yuki Tsunoda, 9 positions made up. Really good performance. In 11th, Fernando Alonso 12th. Jack Doohan 13th. 14th is Esteban Ocon. Pierre Gasly in 15th. Then comes Isaac Hadjar. And 4 DNFs in the ways of Gabriel Bortoleto, Charles Leclerc, Alexander Albon, and Oliver Bearman. And let's now see what that does with the drivers' standing. So, Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship with 65 points. But it does mean that they're trading blows here. McLaren, Ferrari, and Max Verstappen. They're trading the blows. So that means we're actually not too far away after this third race in the season, which only makes it more beneficial for us. Once we get this car in a good spot, we might actually be able to fight for a championship here with Carlos Sainz. But yeah, that is looking good. George Russell has moved up one spot into 6th. No major movements, but obviously Nico Hülkenberg, the big talking point of this race, scoring a point for Kick Sauber. And yeah, going down to the constructors, McLaren leading by 1 point against Ferrari. Then comes Red Bull, where Max is doing most of the heavy lifting, of course. Then comes Mercedes, Williams, us still solidly in third. Solidly in 5th position. And that is also Carlos doing all of the heavy lifting. But, you know, that's what we're focusing on. And I think even with just a single driver performing well, I think we can really take the fight to Mercedes and Red Bull this year. Maybe not Ferrari and McLaren. But yeah, that one-man team of Carlos Sainz should be able to do something here throughout the season. And again, then Alexander Albon with this early DNF, not getting ourselves the sponsor payout, which bit disappointing because I kind of need those funds to get Carlos his car parts and keep funding him. So yeah, bit unfortunate, but hey, here we go. We're not giving Alex any good parts to work with so far, but in the future we should be able to give him some of Carlos's spare parts, and then we'll try to get some more sponsor objectives done with him. But Carlos picking up a nice 700k with that 5th position. Okay, bit of an overview here, guys, before we head to the end of this episode. We've just completed those side pods and the suspension. And I'm gonna be, I have started up a new project for both of those. Both of those designs are gonna be done in 33 days. Again, we're trying to eke out as much development time on all our designs, just so we get more expertise. So our parts towards the end of the season or the second half of the season should be much better down the line. We don't really have the money to do more intense designs, so yeah, we'll see how that goes throughout the season. Maybe if we get some cash influx here and there, we can try and squeeze an intense design in there. I think there's also an ATR period in about 21 days. So that's 3 more races, I think, until we get to that one. And then we should have also our new front wing and our chassis, our new chassis. That's also going to be done. That's going to be a big upgrade. And maybe we can use even more wind tunnel time and CFD on a chassis or a front wing, and try to help Carlos get closer to getting onto the first podium position, I guess. But anyway, guys, this will be the end of the episode. Seeing Carlos Sainz go from P18 to P5, that was worthwhile. I think he's done really well. Maybe leave a thumbs up or subscribe if you really enjoyed the episode, so you can see the next ones that are coming up. I also have some other stuff planned outside of this just career mode we have here with Carlos Sainz. I'm planning to do some other stuff as well, and then he'll hit the bell icon, I guess, as well to stay up to date from when I post. But yeah, I've really enjoyed making this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. All right, so a bit of an overview here, guys, before we head. Okay, so a bit of an overview here. Okay, so a bit of an overview here, guys, before we head on to